Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I seem to be a little bit out of focus for some reason. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Come on. Hello. You see my other. There we go. Okay. Hey everyone, I'm glad I can see me now, and so can you. Hey Sneha, welcome. I saw my first like. That's a great like. So I have a very special blend today. Hey Ma, welcome. I have a very special blend today. It's a little bit of a mystery. I'll talk about it in just a second. But I'm doing a new tea that I've never tasted before. I just turned on my water. I'm doing a new tea that I've never tasted before, and it's not something that I've never tasted before, but rather it's from a different company that I was not aware of that existed. So the tea itself is a bit of a mystery. I'm not able to find much about Wally, welcome. I'm not very I wasn't able to find very much information about the tea itself. But I was able to find a lot more information on the actual company, which I find a little strange, but I'm gonna go with it. It's today I'm doing might as well start the introduction. You can't really read it, but I'm doing Rwandan Moon Mountain Tea. Now, I was under the impression that Rwandan Moon Mountain Tea was a flavor, but actually, Rwandan Mountain Tea is a brand, and they're based out in Rwanda. What was it? The Western, the Western and Northern region, in Kitabi. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm like just. It's so hard for me to like memorize all of this information. Excuse me. I'm still battling that cold from last week. I'm doing a lot better now, but it's a little tough on the pipes, but that's okay. Anyway, so I was able to find more. Shanna, welcome. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand why it stopped announcing when I'm going online. I'm gonna have to like call their support or something to find out. But anyway, Anna, welcome. Welcome. I choked. Oh, oh, excuse me. I kind of choked there. I swallowed the wrong way. That's what she said. Anyway, hi, mom. You're here with mom. Okay. Either I have two moms or it's actually Teresa who happens to be visiting, but I can't really tell at this point. So if it is you, Teresa, hi. If not, hi, mom. Hi, mom. Anyway, so I was looking into the company itself. Yeah, I do have a little bit of a bug. It's actually a lot better than it was a couple days ago. So I'm on the mend, but excuse me, it's getting a little difficult. Oh, but anyway, as I was saying, they're a company that. Oh, okay, there you go, Teresa with mom. Gotcha. Okay. So anyway, they're a company that's established in Rwanda, and uh, they are looking to cultivate the country along with their business and from what I gathered, because there's just a little like I'm on their website and there's not very much information about what excuse me what they're selling, what the products they have. They sell directly to stores, so you can't buy from them. They do have they do have teas that they auction off in what was it? Let me check that just in case. Uh, it was under Buy Our Tea. Mombasa, that's what it was. They're in Mombasa market. Um, they are directly based in Africa, and I assume that they're doing what happened in India. Excuse me, where the tea was migrated over from China and Japan, and it's like it's being moved. Well, I can't really say. Well, I take that back. Not really migrated, but like um, adapted, like it was in England. I don't know. I never did find out if tea was ever grown in England, but it makes sense because a lot of the climate and environment is sustainable for tea in Africa. So I don't see why they wouldn't have tea farms there. But it's what I'm assuming is like they're migrating it and bringing it in, and just starting to cultivate it to help build their business and to help with the society. I read like they do a lot of they pay their taxes and stuff, and they use that specifically to benefit their country and their oh, what is it called? I lost the page that I was on, so I'm doing two things at the same time. Let me go down and quote it exactly. They are a large taxpayer and invest their profits in the country, thus contributing to Rwanda's economic development. I'm glad I was able to get that out in English. I was failing miserably trying to explain it while navigating the site, but just in time. I have I pulled out the water because it's done, but I forgot to actually pour out the tea. So here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put some in right now because I'm already a little bit behind. There we go. And that's not nearly enough. There we go. Much better. Yeah. So I have about enough for 2 cups. But I'm only going to make one today. There we go. Now I've smelled it before. I'll smell it again. Now it was really hard to smell from the plastic bag. Maybe I'll get a little bit of luck smelling it directly. Okay, so it's got it's a regular black tea, but it's a little bit. What is this? Are you going to the moon if you drink this? Let's hope so. I mean, if I get some high feelings from this. But it's like a black tea, and it's slightly smoky. Not as much as a lapsang, but it is kind of close. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Now there were no instructions on how to brew this, so I'm going to do this as a regular, typical black tea, and I'll do it for 5 minutes at 212 degrees. And hopefully this has a pretty good strength to it. It didn't smell too strong, but it smelled like a general black tea. As long as he doesn't moon us, yeah, that would be the last time anybody watches my stream. Oh man, that would be awful. But yeah, that's. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it is a little taxing on the pipes. And before I forget, Happy New Year, everyone. I'm glad that you all joined me for another year. I hope to be just as what's the word I'm looking for? Impactful on your minds and tea educations as I was last year. I'm always pushing to do it a little more. So right off the bat, I usually would start smelling the tea by now. It's not very strong as far as fragrance is concerned. I do get hints of the black tea. It might not just be because I'm slightly stuffy, but like even when I had it right up against my nose, it wasn't too strong. I got the smoke from it more than anything else. So hopefully, this will be a stronger tea than it smells. Excuse me, all this congestion is starting to get a little bit annoying. But what can I do? You know, it is what it is. So looking at it, it's It's expanding just like a regular black tea. Um, it's I'm already finding that it has about almost doubled in size. What was this? Where do I get this one? This was actually a gift from Shanna's parents. They brought it back from England. I'm assuming that the people the people who own the shop where they bought it from bought it directly from Rwandan Moon Mountain. And so they bought it as a brand rather than a flavor. So this is still a first for me because I've never had tea that was grown in Africa aside from rooibos, which is specifically basically South African. This one is supposed to be like an actual tea. For those of you who know about rooibos, that's actually a an herbal blend. It's not specifically a tea. This one looks and smells exactly like a tea, so I'm assuming that this is more authentic. Oh, and there's Quackhead. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. Wow, that is okay. Shut my mouth. This grew a lot more than I thought it would. It more than doubled in size. I I'll show you guys in a bit because I just pulled it out. I need to get it to stop dripping and stuff because you guys know every time I try to show you what it looked like, I always make a mess on the floor, and I'm trying to avoid that. So I'm gonna let that dry out for a little bit, and I'll go ahead and pour some of this out. And this is just in time because I've been drinking a lot of tea to get rid of this cold or whatever it is. It was never too strong. The cold it is. The cold I mean. So right off the bat, it looks like a regular black tea. Oh, a little bit drippy. There we go. So you'll see it's a little bit. Let me flip it over. Oh, there we go. Wow, it's a strong. Now I'm smelling it. It smells like straight up black tea. It's not the darkest tea that I've had, but it is up there. You'll see in the middle, it's almost completely black. I have to like shine the light directly into it so that you'll see some colors. Yeah, it is. It's really dark. When you take a look at the outside, you have the little ring that's brown, then it goes red into yellow. So there's barely a contrast between the yellow and the clear. This is going to be a stronger tea than it looks. Oh yeah, absolutely. It is like I don't know if I guess the camera's not doing it justice, but this is it's a super black tea. So I'm assuming that the aroma is going to be a little bit deceiving, and it's going to have a stronger taste than I thought. Oh, this is going to be awesome. All right, here we go. It's got a nice wholesome scent to it. Yeah, I have an idea of what this is going to taste like, but here we go. Oh wow, that's actually pretty good. Like it's not exactly what I was expecting, but it's a good balance. Okay, so this is actually it's actually closer to a an Assam. Uh, for those of you who have drank teas like English breakfast, um, and know the difference between English breakfast, Irish breakfast, and Scottish breakfast, this is actually close to a Scottish. Like it's pretty strong. It's more smoky than I thought it would be. Um, it's still not as smoky as as Lapsang, but this is it's a really strong tea. Like I'm wondering if I put too much tea in there to begin with because it's kind of strong. But it's also really smooth. There are some strong black teas that go down bitter. This is it's got a really good even taste. Now the Assam usually has like a really how do I put this? Like a deep, dark, strong flavor. This one has that same level, but like it's kind of got like a very, very small hint of wood and berry at the end of it. Well, I don't really want to say berry. What's the word? Like a like it's a fruit, but like a savory kind of fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like um I want to say like a date or a raisin or something like that, but think of like a really super strong raisin. You know, where you taste that tanginess. It's yeah, it is smoother than Assam. Assam tends to be strong and hits you hard. This one is strong, but it's smooth going down. Um, this tea, it's definitely like got all the properties of a black tea. There's no way around it. Need a little to soothe my throat there. Now, generally, there's one thing that I don't like about Ceylon, and it has a little bit of that quality where uh, I get the feeling that if you let it get cold, it'll turn bitter, and that's what I'm going to try to avoid because something like that can really ruin your experience if you don't know if you don't see it coming. So thankfully, I've had a lot of experience. I know uh, I know what to expect as it cools down. I think that this one is going to be at best when it's hot because when it cools down, it'll turn bitter. It'll turn kind of soapy, um, and it'll just like, uh, you know. But yeah, this is I'm going to try to avoid that because I don't want my first experience of Rwandan mountain tea to be marred, I guess. Uh, I have had bad experiences with tea. Yes, I am sure. You guys have all seen me drink Earl Grey, and I don't prefer it much. But this one I think is it's not going to get to that point because it's like I know that it's probably best to drink fast. Plus, like the room is nice and chill, and it's gonna. I'm really enjoying the environment right now. So this is conducive to a tea drinking experience. Believe it or not, the temperature of a room can will make you like or dislike a tea, and that's what I've always found fascinating is that if you can pair the room with the tea that you're in, you have it made. Because I mean, everybody thinks, okay, you can drink tea with food, you can drink tea with dessert, you can drink tea, pair it with a lot of different foods, but you really don't consider pairing a tea with the room that you're in, and pairing a tea with the weather outside. But that is the thing. Because there are some teas, like for example, easiest easiest thing to imagine. You're drinking a really, really strong chai in the middle of summer, and it's like, why are you doing this to yourself? You drink a hot tea on a hot day that's spicy, so it's making you sweat, and you're uncomfortable. That kind of a thing can take an effect. So when you're drinking a hot tea in a cold room, it tends to sorry, it tends to all culminate into one experience. You're drinking, like, there's teas that are specific to fall that tastes outstanding just because of the weather outside. There's teas like fruit teas in the spring where you get the birds outside are chirping, and it's a nice day, warm breeze. You drink a fruit tea that it just adds to the experience. This is the kind of tea that you'll want to drink on a cold day in a cold room, maybe with a fire going, and it warms you up completely. I've never really considered that before. Pairing a tea with a room. That's an interesting concept. I think something should be done about that. If I could, like, write an article or something. But we'll see. Miriam, welcome. Oh, you just lost so many "that's what she said" moments. But don't worry, I'm sure you'll catch up. Oh man. But yeah, like, I should see if there's a way to submit an article to some sort of I don't know, some sort of press or some sort of magazine or something, just talking about pairing teas with rooms. Oh yeah, you always do find those special moments, even when I miss them. Oh, but but I'll see if I can get some special just for you. Anyway, so just to catch you up, I'm doing Rwandan Moon Mountain tea, and it's actually really strong. It's a little bit stronger than I would have expected, because it doesn't have a very imposing scent to it. It's a little bit unassuming before you steep it. Well, I'll actually show you if you guys bear with me just a moment while I check. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so was it you were stuck in a horribly organized Jewel Osco? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully, next time you go shopping, you won't have that kind of experience. But here we go. So it looks like my tea has dried up, and I'll show you. Now, if you remember what it looked like before I poured it, it was about to here. I didn't know that I thought I didn't have enough, but now look at this. It's all the way up here. If you guys could see my index finger from here, it grew a lot. And that's why it was a little bit unassuming, because when it's small, it didn't release an odor, but when it grew, it released all that flavor. Oh, excuse me. It released all of that flavor, and it made like a really super strong pot that I was not really expecting. I was thinking it was going to be something along the lines of a Ceylon or Darjeeling, but now that it's like a full cup and I'm drinking it, it's super duper. What was what was that blah ha 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 for? What did I say? I'm sure I said something. But it's giving me like a really strong flavor that I was not expecting. Mm. Now, I'm really enjoying the. Excuse me. I'm really enjoying the. Now, Miriam, watch. I'm giving you the warning now. Brace yourself. I'm really enjoying the mouthfeel on this. Like it's got uh a way of it doesn't necessarily coat the tongue, but it's like you feel the warmth, like the warmth of it lingers um on your tongue, on your like at the back of your throat. um that's not always the case with teas. You usually get that out of chai teas, because the spices are left behind and they continue to burn after you drink it. What was this? So if this tea was a person, it'd be a short guy, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I wish I would ask it, but unfortunately, I don't. I don't speak tea. Hmm. Now, when you drink it, it like really you get a strong sensation all over the mouth. It's a really dark, it's a really dark, earthy kind of taste to it. It's really hard to distinguish. Taller people underestimate short people. I guess. Oh, that makes sense. um, it's like the kind of excuse me. It's the kind of flavor that um, it's how do I put this? It's kind of like um, a super dark tea that yeah, I know you're all like girl power on this thing. Yes, I am. But I mean, I have to. This is the kind of things that I have to explore as I go on because um, I mean, I'm trying to give you guys a full experience while I'm here. But like I'm saying, it's got this really strong earthy taste to it. Um, that you have to kind of treat with caution, because if you're not expecting it, um, you don't know what you're getting into, and um, you're not going to enjoy you're not going to enjoy it to its fullest. Like I'm finding it hard to to place the words, because it's like I'm thinking about this on uh from a first time taster. And when people drink teas, and they don't really have much experience, they're expecting something like the general Lipton tea. I mean, something that's simple and plain, and not too fancy. But this is on the border of like a coffee kind of taste to it. It's strong, it's smoky, and it's really like kind of imposing a little bit. Mm. Oh, that's good stuff. Oh, excuse me. Now it's starting to clear me up, just like last week. Everything is starting to drain, and that was not a pleasant feeling last week. But it's okay. I'll I powered through it, and I'll power through it this time around too. Oof. Anyway, what was it? And short guys are imposing, I guess. I mean, you're you're talking you're talking a different language. I have no idea if that's true or not. Ooh, But yeah, this stuff is like it's starting to it's starting to clear me out. I mean, you can see it in my face, and you can hear it when I speak. Everything is starting to break up, which in the long run is a good thing because I'm trying to get rid of this cold. But in the short run, when I'm trying to trying to host a um, a tea tasting, it's a little bit difficult to continue to talk, and like all of this stuff is happening back here that nobody wants to think about. So that it is proposing a bit of a challenge for me. Not proposing, it is posing a bit of a challenge for me. Mm. But I'm up for it. Whew. Now it's starting to cool off a little bit, and just as I was afraid of what was going to happen, it's starting to turn. Um, the black tea is turning a little bit bitter, and a little bit sour, which I mean, it happens with black teas, even the best of them. Highest qualities, the highest qualities teas often have that problem where I mean, as good as it is, you have to drink it fast because if you let it cool down too much, it'll lose its zing. Um, I mean, there's certain teas that you can that cover the entire spectrum. This is turning out to not be one of them, which I mean, I knew that going in, but yeah, I'm gonna have to like drink it a little bit faster. Mm. Whew. Yeah, that soapiness is starting to set in, and it's turning a little bit bitter, and the bitter and the strong are not going well together. Uh, it's starting to lose its smoothness, and it's starting to break down a little bit. Um, and it also might be because I shaved a little bit, and for some reason, it's making me more sensitive to the scent of the shaving cream that I used. So I'm kind of tasting that as well. It's a really strange combination. Uh, Maybe, but no, I'm not gonna give you that. I'm not gonna give you that opening. That's what she said. But yeah, it's like I'm tasting a little bit of my shaving cream, or rather shaving gel, like the scent of it. I'm smelling it and tasting it at the same time, and it's a little weird. Yeah, like I would say, if this was a relationship, it would be best if it was like when it's hot and when it's fast and when it's exciting. Now that it's starting to die down, it's getting a little sour, a little bitter, um, and sadly, it looks like it's heading for divorce. So this is the kind of hot little mama that you better drink fast and move on to the next. That sounded awful. That really sounded so bad. Mm. Woof. But I mean, it's true. It's like it's starting to it's starting to turn on me a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the pot. Uh, Pour some of that out. Oof. There we go. Yeah, because it's starting to just like this tea. What do you mean this tea? The what do you mean this tea? Like the declining relationship? I mean, I still highly recommend it. It's still a delicious tea. I just highly recommend that you drink it fast because it's a little bit it's a little bit fickle. I want to say. I mean, maybe it's also just a oh, well, that was strange. I just got like kind of a taste. What was this? The longer the relationship, the more they get out of you. Dump it. Let's see. Why are you finishing the pot when this tea sucks? Because it doesn't suck. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it tastes good, but it's just declining fast. Um, and what I was gonna mention before was just now, for some reason, I had gotten like this really strong taste of dark chocolate, and um, I think that that might be something to explore. Like, if you've ever had unprocessed, unsweetened chocolate, that's kind of like what it's starting to taste like. There was a time where I was a kid, and one of our substitute teachers brought in chocolate, but it was unprocessed. It was unsweetened. Like it was just that little chocolate bar of pure chocolate, of pure cocoa, and it was bitter. It was just whew. I'm not gonna dump it out. I am committed to finishing this tea because that's the kind of guy that I am. Mm. I have yet to um I have yet to call it a day on on a tea, besides for technical issues. Um but yeah, so Ma, you know what I'm talking about, how it's just that straight up chocolate without the sugar, without the sweetener, without the milk, and it's just like, ah, that's kind of what it's turning towards. So at this point, I mean, I would try to either sweeten it, add a little cream, add a little milk. That might do it. But for the integrity of this stream, I'm just gonna not do that now. Maybe my second cup, I'll do that when I drink it on my own time. What was it? I'm just ruining it for the kids. I'm not ruining anything. I'm trying to give an honest review. I'm trying to give a full spectrum because tea tastes do change as you go on. I mean, there are some teas that are great all the way through. There are some teas where it declines slowly. There's other teas where it declines quickly, and there's some teas that's just like terrible from beginning to end. What was this? I won't put myself through that garbage. What was it? Oh, I don't. I won't put myself through that. If I don't like it, in the garbage it goes. I'm not going to dump it, and I'm not going to add some cream. One, I don't have any cream, and two, I mean, it's for the sake of education. It's for the sake of telling you guys that um what to expect if you ever get across if you ever come across it, and you want to drink it for yourself. I mean, it's not a bad tea, not from the beginning. It just takes a little discipline, to drink it when it's cold. I mean, I've had worse teas, I've had better teas. But oh my god, you guys are like, you just say, "Oh, it's bad for the second half, so it must suck altogether." It doesn't. I started this review with positive things. It's just as it. No, I'm not teaching you to tolerate an unhealthy relationship. I'm only comparing it to a relationship, and I'm giving you a review. And then once this is over, I mean, I can drink it as fast as I want to. Normally, it doesn't take me an hour to drink through an entire cup. So the average person is not going to be like the average person is not going to be like, oh, I'm going to drink this in an hour. I'll just let it sit and then say, oh, this is terrible. No, they're going to make it. They're going to drink it, and that's going to be the end of that. Yeah, it is not worse than Earl Grey. Yes, I am teaching you. Okay, that's my lesson for today. Stay in unhealthy relationships just to please your partner. Are you happy? God, you're making me out to be like some sort of maniac. Mm. Whew. And the funny thing is, like, here I am telling you that that it's not so great when it's cold, and then you're like distracting me so that it gets colder as I keep talking. So if anything's unhealthy, it's you. You're doing this to me. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man. Anyway, but yeah, I'm going back to comparing it to unsweetened chocolate. That's, I think, a really good assessment of it. And some people actually like that. Some people like the sweetened chocolate. There were a couple kids in the class that were like, "Oh, this is good," while everybody else was spitting it out. So if that's your thing, I'd say this is a great tea for you. For me, for everybody else, I'd say it's a good tea. Drink it fast. you know, um, it's really not that bad. Well, this is true. You don't claim to be healthy, but you do try. Mm. Ooh, I am so stuffed right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up the questions and comments. Open up to the floor. I know, Teresa, you want to know what this would pair with. Um, I would say something. It needs like um, a really strong partner. So I would say maybe like we'll go with steak, cooked well done with mashed potatoes and gravy and some asparagus. Maybe a raw onion or two. No, I wouldn't go with the onion. Mm. Whew. Anybody else? Oh, I'm actually stuffed myself. You gotta climb the stairs. Okay, have fun climbing stairs. I'll be here talking in your ear while you go. Um, Announcements. You know what? I'm gonna do a couple of announcements. I'm going to be at the company Christmas party, holiday party next week. So I will not be streaming. Um, and you know what? Doggone it, I forgot to start the polls. So next week, unless you guys want to do it tomorrow, but I think that Monday might be better because people are going to be up and around, and they're going to want to. They're going to be more aware of Facebook. Oh, excuse me, for all you friends who are working at that time. Oh, excuse me, and you're like, screw this job, I'm going on Facebook. That's I got the hiccups. Anyway, that's the people who are going to vote on the charities that we're going to do for Charity Month. I'm going to sit down this weekend and uh, put my challenges together, and then once Charity Month begins, I'll be able to show you guys what I will be doing at each tier. So I'm going to be taking this month. I've already got the what did I say, 20. I've already got the 20 charities listed. So I'll be ready to post those four at a time for the next 5 weeks. And then no, sorry, yeah, for the next 5 weeks. No, five at a time for 4 weeks. I don't know. What do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer five at a time for 4 weeks or four at a time for 5 weeks? Oh, you know what? No, it has to be four at a time. Yeah, because for that fifth week is going to be the let me see. No, for the sixth week, it's going to be the last four people, the last four winners. Yeah, so for the next 6 weeks, I'll be doing the polls, and we'll be getting all the information together, and once we have that, we'll be good to go. So remember, keep tuned in, and we'll get everything sorted out for Charity Month, and then the real fun begins. I'm going to be counting on all of you to spread the word, share my statuses once we get the charity picked. I'm going to count on you to go out and like share my status. We'll be, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, contribute yourself. If I have about 100 people, I have over 100 people on the community, and if everybody gives $10, we'll hit that $1,000 mark for nothing. So $10 goes a long way. 10 times 100. That's all we need. Or we could get people from everywhere to join in. I mean, I'm looking to really make a difference in one of these in one of these excuse me, in one of these charity events. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? So I'm gonna push it to the best of my ability, and once we hit that $1,000 mark, it's gonna be awesome. Oh, I need to clear out my throat a bit. Mm. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Anyway. All right. So, questions, comments, anything you want to throw at me? This is last call. I think I have about one more sip left. I'll be chugging it, and then I can go to bed knowing that I did my best. And I endured for the sake of you guys, the children. We made this relationship work. And now that the kids are in college, we can get a divorce. Anyway, all right, last call. I'm chugging this down. Oof. Oh, I'm stuffed. All right, I guess it's time to call it a night. Thank you guys for joining me once again, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Uh, Once again, keep on checking out the community board, and I'll keep you guys posted on the new things that are coming up. All right, have a great weekend.